After Goku spoke with the Omni Kings, he stayed close to Margarita at all times. He feared that Belmod or seals might appear and cause Margarita to lose control. Goku thought to himself that he must never let anyone take him away from Margarita. He knew he could not allow that to happen. Margarita asked him if he was alright. Goku assured her that he was fine, and that he was always happy by her side. Margarita blushed and replied that she was always happy with him. Meanwhile, in another part of Universe 13, a very jealous and angry woman watched them. Seals cursed that Margarita would never let her get close to Goku. She wondered what she could do. A voice noted that she also suffered from their relationship. Seals asked Lord Belmod what he was doing there. Belmod stated he came for Margarita, but the Saiyan would not allow it. Seals admitted she could no longer stand seeing them together and declared Goku should only belong to her. Belmod added that Margarita belonged exclusively to him. Seals realized they had the same goal and suggested they work together. Belmod was pleased to hear that. Seals asked about his plan. Belmod produced a small vial. He explained it was a potion that would make Margarita think only of him. He told Seals to give it to her so Margarita would leave Goku and run into his arms. Seals found the idea interesting and promised to try. She told him she would report back on the results. A few days passed. Goku and Margarita were in space observing several planets. Goku felt glad to see the planets progressing quickly and living in peace. Margarita credited his good work as a destroyer. Goku modestly brushed off the praise. Margarita insisted she was only telling the truth. They leaned in to kiss. Seals interrupted them. Goku greeted Seals and asked what brought her there. Margarita silently wondered what the vile woman wanted. Seals bowed her head and apologized for her past behavior. Goku told her to forget about it. Seals insisted an apology was not enough. She brought out a pitcher and said she had prepared delicious drinks and cakes for them. She offered to serve them on her planet. Goku agreed and told Seals to hold on to Margarita. Margarita warned her not to try anything foolish. Seals acted innocent. She stood next to Goku with a heavy blush and placed her hand on the shoulder of Margarita. Margarita felt disgusted by the touch. She quickly flew them to the planet of the Supreme Kai. They arrived a few minutes later. Seals asked for a moment to serve the tea. Goku and Margarita waited and shared a serious look. Seals handed them their drinks. Goku and Margarita drank the tea. Goku complimented the delicious taste. Seals blushed and thanked him. Margarita coldly admitted it was acceptable. Seals mentally urged her to drink it all so Goku would be hers. A few minutes later, Margarita began to feel dizzy and her face turned red. She stumbled and asked what was happening. Goku held her hands and asked if she was alright. Margarita demanded he let go and asked for Lord Belmod. Goku was completely confused. Margarita stomped her foot twice and demanded to see Lord Belmod. She claimed she needed him and missed him terribly. Goku touched her shoulder and closed his eyes. He sadly stated that she was free to go if she did not love him. He lowered his head and walked away. Seals silently celebrated her success. Margarita declared it was time to reunite with her master. Seals told her to leave so she could have Goku all to herself. Margarita looked at Seals with slightly unfocused eyes. She smiled and told Seals she could only have Goku over her dead body. Seals panicked. Margarita moved with incredible speed and grabbed Seals by the throat. Seals began to choke. Margarita coldly asked if Seals really thought a spiked drink could manipulate an angel. She called Seals a fool and promised to kill her slowly. Seals struggled and begged to be released. Margarita punched Seals hard in the stomach. Seals lost her breath and fell to the ground. Margarita laughed and swore Seals would not leave the planet alive. Seals watched in horror as Margarita prepared to tear her apart. Goku ordered Margarita to stop and let her go. Margarita tried to argue, but Goku raised his voice. Margarita reluctantly agreed. Seals ran to Goku and begged for help. She claimed Margarita was crazy and tried to kill her. Goku sternly ordered Seals to leave. Seals tried to protest. Goku yelled for her to get out. Margarita mocked Seals for thinking Goku would fall for her stupid game. Seals accused Margarita of playing games with Goku and keeping him away from her. Margarita lost her temper and lunged at Seals. Goku stopped her from being provoked. He told Seals one last time to leave. Seals vowed she would not give up and left the planet. Goku asked Margarita if the potion really had no effect on her. Margarita thanked him and confirmed she was fine. Goku was glad she realized the trick and warned him. Margarita said she noticed the deception just in time. Goku hugged her tightly. He admitted that hearing those hurtful words caused him great pain even if she only said them to trick Seals. Margarita apologized and blamed the Supreme Kai. She wanted to chase after Seals and kill her. Goku stopped her. He told her she was better than that and was not a killer. Margarita argued that seals would keep trying to separate them if she lived. Goku swore it did not matter who opposed them. He promised to love her forever, and never leave her. He called her his greatest treasure and said she was more valuable than his own life. The eyes of Margarita sparkled with joy. She told him how much she loved him. She threw herself at him, and they shared a deep kiss. Meanwhile, in space, seals cursed her bad luck, but swore she would ruin their happiness. Goku and Margarita traveled across Universe 13 at high speed. Goku asked which planet was next. Margarita smiled and began to answer. A bright light suddenly appeared in front of them. Beerus greeted Goku. Goku asked Lord Beerus what brought him there. Beerus claimed he just wanted to see how Goku was handling his destroyer duties. Goku said things were going well enough. Whis noticed they seemed to be having some trouble. Margarita admitted it was annoying, but they refused to let it affect them. Goku changed the subject and asked how they had been. Beerus said everything was the same. Whis added that Vegeta was training to become the next god of destruction for Universe 7. Goku was surprised by the news. Beerus noted Vegeta had made great progress, and would be a worthy successor. Goku guessed Beerus came for another reason. Beerus admitted he came to test the strength of Goku. Goku smiled and said it would be interesting. The four of them traveled to an empty void outside the universe to fight without holding back. Goku prepared for a fun match. Beerus hoped the trip would be worth it. Goku transformed into Super Saiyan Blue while Beerus flared his energy. Margarita asked Whis if it was safe to let them fight. Whis agreed it was fine, and noted he had not seen Lord Beerus this excited in a long time. A tremendous collision of power echoed through the void. Goku and Beerus clashed fists. Massive lightning bolts erupted from the impact. Beerus praised the new strength of Goku. Goku credited his lovely wife for his progress. Margarita blushed deeply from a distance. Whis teased her for acting so shy. Margarita told Whis to be quiet and looked away. Whis just smiled and watched the fight. Goku and Beerus traded blows at incredible speeds. They seemed evenly matched. Beerus admitted Goku had grown strong, but decided to get serious. Beerus released a massive amount of energy. He landed a devastating punch to the stomach of Goku in less than a second. Goku clutched his stomach in pain. Margarita grew worried. Whis told her to let them be since this was how they fought. Margarita stayed still but remained very anxious. Goku praised the hidden power of Lord Beerus. Beerus admitted he rarely used his full strength. Beerus began to dominate the fight. Goku took many heavy hits, but refused to give up. He decided to use everything he had. Goku dropped to his base form and closed his eyes. Beerus realized what was coming. A white aura surrounded Goku, and his hair turned silver. He had activated Perfect Ultra Instinct. Beerus shouted that he would not be left behind. Beerus calmed his energy, and let it flow naturally. His aura changed into a fiery state. Margarita was amazed that Beerus could also use the technique. Whis laughed and reminded her that Beerus was a prodigy. Whis noted Beerus could be the strongest of all the gods if he was not so lazy. Margarita admitted the fight would be very interesting. Goku was impressed that Beerus could use the form. Beerus admitted his version was incomplete, but still very useful. Goku and Beerus approached each other, and stared intensely. Giant bolts of lightning and massive waves of energy began to clash between them. Margarita was astonished. They appeared to just be standing there but were actually fighting at speeds invisible to the naked eye. They slowly reduced their speed. Both fighters were covered in severe wounds. Despite the injuries, their faces showed a deep and contagious peace. They clashed fists one last time, and smiled. Beerus noted Goku had finally caught up to him. Goku admitted he had reached his limit for now. Goku lost his silver form and collapsed from exhaustion. Beerus coughed up blood, and also lost all his energy. Both of them floated tiredly in the empty vacuum of space. Whis noted they had pushed themselves very hard. Margarita prepared to heal them. A blinding light suddenly engulfed the area. Belmod laughed and declared he finally had his most hated enemies at his mercy. Belmod moved with lethal speed. He impaled Beerus with sharp energy cards, and left him on the brink of death. He then drove an energy sword completely through Goku. Margarita screamed in horror. She charged at Belmod with absolute fury. Belmod laughed and told her she would soon be his. Seals suddenly appeared out of nowhere. She grabbed the wounded body of Goku. Seals mocked Margarita and teleported away with him. Belmod laughed again and vanished from the area. Whis quickly rushed to Beerus and healed his fatal wounds. Whis stated Beerus only needed rest now. He asked Margarita if she was alright. Margarita was dead serious. She declared she was sick of the games. She swore to hunt Seals down and kill her with her bare hands. She promised Belmod would be next. Margarita flew toward Universe 13 at blinding speed. Whis worried that killing a Supreme Kai and a god of destruction would break angel laws and get her erased. He decided he needed to inform his father immediately. Margarita flew with eyes full of pure rage. Her mind repeated a promise to kill Seals over and over again. Meanwhile, on an unknown planet in Universe 13, Seals blushed as she healed Goku. She told him to recover quickly so they could be together for all eternity. Goku lay unconscious on a bed. Behind Seals sat the magical Dragon Balls ready to grant any wish. Margarita continued her desperate search. Her eyes showed only hatred and anger. She no longer cared if Goku got mad at her. She resolved to eliminate anyone who stood between them. She screamed the names of Seals and Belmont into the void. Whis left the Supreme Kai of Universe 7 and traveled to the palace of the Omni Kings. The Grand Priest was surprised by his arrival. Whis seriously explained that something terrible had happened. The Grand Priest listened with a grave expression. He guessed Margarita would not be able to hold back this time. Whis feared she would be erased if she killed a deity. The two Omni Kings assured them that nothing bad would happen to her. Whis and the Grand Priest fell to their knees. Whis asked if they truly meant Margarita would be safe. The Omni Kings confirmed she would face no punishment. They revealed they already knew about the situation. They remembered the request Goku made days ago. Goku had begged them not to punish her if this exact scenario occurred. The Omni Kings agreed Margarita had plenty of reasons to eliminate her enemies. Whis felt relieved. The Grand Priest stated he understood the situation, but had one disturbing piece of news. He revealed the goddess Seals had just made a wish on the Dragon Balls. Everyone grew deeply concerned. The Omni Kings asked what she wished for. The Grand Priest apologized and admitted some strange magic prevented him from knowing the wish. Whis panicked because they had no idea what Seals had done. Somewhere in Universe 13, Seals lived out her ultimate fantasy. Goku carried Seals in his arms. She asked him who he loved. Goku stated he loved only his dear Seals. She touched his face and kissed him. She mentally mocked Margarita and bragged about taking everything away from her. Meanwhile, Margarita searched frantically across the universe. She finally found them on a massive world that looked like a sacred realm. A giant palace stood in the center. Margarita blasted the main doors into dust and entered with blazing fury. She demanded Seals show herself. The inner doors slowly opened. Seals walked out with a smug smile. Seals pretended to be surprised to see her there so soon. Margarita demanded she bring Goku out immediately. Seals smiled and noted how angry she looked. Seals delivered the bad news. She claimed Goku no longer loved Margarita and only wanted to be with her. Margarita clenched her fists and flared her godly power. She declared she had enough and promised Seals would die right there. Margarita formed a lethal sphere of energy and threw it directly at Seals. Seals stood perfectly still and smiled widely. She called out for Goku to protect her. Goku dashed in and deflected the energy sphere. Margarita was completely confused. She asked Goku what he was doing and why he was protecting her. Goku remained silent and stared with a blank expression. Margarita demanded an answer. Seals walked up to Goku and kissed him passionately. Seals blushed and asked Goku to tell them who he loved. Goku replied that he loved Seals. Margarita could not believe her ears. She wanted to cry. She wanted to run away. She wanted to hit him for saying those words. Tears filled her eyes as she asked how he could do this. She prepared to attack them both. Suddenly she noticed something wrong. The eyes of Goku were completely dead. He showed zero emotion. He did not seem like himself at all. Margarita stopped and closed her eyes. She asked Goku if he truly loved Seals. Goku said yes. She asked if he had stopped loving her. Goku said yes. Margarita opened her eyes. They glowed with a beautiful purple light. She told him he was lying. Through her divine vision she saw a sinister purple aura surrounding Goku. Margarita demanded to know what Seals had done to him. Seals noted she finally figured it out. Seals admitted she simply asked the Eternal Dragon for a favor. Margarita realized she used the Dragon Balls. She demanded to know the exact wish. Seals placed a finger on her lips and called it a secret. Margarita flew into a blind rage and charged at Seals. She swore to tear her to pieces. Goku suddenly teleported in front of Seals to block the path. Margarita told Goku to move so she could kill the wretched woman. Seals ordered Goku to kill Margarita. Goku launched himself at his wife. Margarita was caught completely off guard. Seals laughed at the irony. She told Margarita that Goku would kill her if she held back. She mocked Margarita with the choice of dying or killing the man she loved. Margarita dodged the relentless attacks. She begged Goku to wake up and said she did not want to hurt him. Goku did not respond and continued his brutal assault. Margarita apologized softly. She delivered a precise strike to the back of his neck. Goku lost consciousness and collapsed. Margarita told him to stay there while she dealt with the idiot. Seals trembled in absolute terror when Goku fell. She screamed for Goku to wake up and save her from the crazy angel. Margarita stated Seals had caused enough trouble, and it was time for her to die. Margarita prepared the finishing blow. Goku suddenly vanished from the floor and reappeared in front of Seals. He used his own body as a shield. Margarita ordered him to step aside. Goku said he could not do it. Margarita asked him why. Goku replied that he loved Seals. Margarita felt as if a knife had pierced her heart. She knew he was under a spell, but the words still caused immense pain. Seals noticed Margarita had dropped her guard. She ordered Goku to erase her. Goku transformed into his Ultra Instinct state and prepared a lethal attack. Margarita was too heartbroken to defend herself. A miracle happened. Goku stopped his attack inches from her face. A single tear rolled down his cheek. Margarita stared deeply into his eyes and begged him to come back to her. Goku used his last shred of free will to speak. He apologized and said the control was too strong for him to fight. Margarita reached out for him. His eyes turned cold once again. He grabbed Seals and used instant transmission to escape. Margarita fell to her knees and cried for him to return. Goku and Seals reappeared in another part of the universe. Seals scolded him for not finishing the job. Goku mechanically apologized for misinterpreting her order. Seals blushed and said she could never stay mad at him. She warned him never to disobey again. She kissed her mindless puppet who had lost all traces of his former self. Back at the palace, Margarita wept bitterly over the tragic events. She regretted not killing Seals when she had the chance. A portal suddenly opened. Whis stepped out and told his sister he knew what happened. He revealed he had brought the Namekian Dragon Balls with him. Margarita quickly stood up and summoned Purunga. The massive dragon told them to state their 3 wishes. Margarita wished for Goku to return to normal. Purunga let out a low rumble. He stated Goku was already in perfect physical health, making the wish useless. Margarita angrily clarified that Goku was being mind-controlled by Seals. Purunga admitted the magic used on him was too complex for his power to detect. Margarita cursed and asked Purunga to cancel every wish ever made on Goku. Purunga warned her to think carefully. He stated Goku would die permanently if he fulfilled that request. Margarita asked why. Purunga explained that Goku had been resurrected by Dragon Balls in the past. Canceling all previous wishes would undo his resurrection. His physical body would die, and his soul would be destroyed forever. Margarita panicked and withdrew the request. She asked Purunga to tell her exactly what Seals had wished for. Purunga said it was impossible. He explained Seals used one of her wishes to ensure no one could ever learn the details of her main wish. Margarita fell to her knees in despair. She cursed her situation and asked what she could do. Purunga advised her to find out the exact wording of the wish Seals made. If she knew the specific words, he could easily isolate and reverse that single spell. Margarita understood and dismissed the dragon. Purunga vanished. Margarita quickly caught the stone spheres before they could scatter across the universe. She noted they would be very useful later. Whis apologized for not being more helpful. Margarita told him not to worry. She stood up with dark determination. She swore she would force Seals to speak the truth whether she liked it or not.